Lacrosse time on Cards TV with head coach Kelly Young. I'm Sean Moth. Good to see you again. And Coach, we'll just jump back real quickly. 2 weeks ago, you guys get a great win over Vanderbilt, and I don't want to not talk about that because that was such an exciting win, a great atmosphere at the stadium, and followed that with another tune-up against a good Ohio State team. And how did you feel about the team heading into those final conference matches?
Vanderbilt was a great win. It was control. We had the tempo. We followed the game plan. It was exactly what a coaching staff looks for. We then come off the high to come in against a very good Ohio State team to not be as focused as we needed to be. And I think, unfortunately, at times our athletes are underestimating their opponent as much as we are trying to keep them focused. But still, we learned a ton from those games to prep heading into Loyola Georgetown, and gave the number 5 team in the country a great fight, and that's what we're all about. But we had the lead. We had gotten it back to 11-10 us, and some silly mistakes put Loyola back in the driving seat.
I was going to say there was no underestimating the competition this last weekend because it was number 5 and number 18, and it was on the road. It's really probably the gauntlet trip of the Big East, especially this season. And I mean, I know there are no moral victories for you, and the team's not young anymore because you've got the seniors, but you still have to feel good about how hard you guys fought against a really quality team in Loyola.
Absolutely. I mean, we certainly didn't leave Loyola frustrated with our team. It was just sort of frustrated with some decisions that we made. Georgetown's a different story. We honor them. They are deep. They are disciplined. They do what their coaching staff tells them to do. But we had a game plan going into that our kids really struggled to follow. So again, opportunity to learn a ton, to sort of rebound from that and come out against Rutgers fired up.
Yeah, and you would expect nothing less, but I think in Georgetown, at one point you were down 8 goals. The team's not giving up. Now, again, you expect that to be the case, but it's still got to be encouraging that, on a road trip, knowing you're down to a team that it's going to be tough to come back from, the team is still picking and scratching.
As a staff, we see the fire that comes out when they're down, and what we're trying to teach them is how do you start a game with that same fire.
Yeah.
Emily DeShia has a great ability to get the draw and go straight to goal and not force it, just getting into the 8-meter and getting it. She shot from the 6 and the 7 and just rocketed it. So how do we get her to have that same faith and self-confidence to do that from the very first minute? Bergen, again, had 5 goals against a very good team. She had 5 goals against Loyola, a very good team. So we have it. We just need to be consistent starting it from the first whistle.
I think Emily has a 38-match scoring streak, and I think she's just 1 draw control away from her school record with still a number of matches to play. So certainly the seniors are stepping to the forefront. We touched on it. You have a conference weekend at home. Looks like we're going to have great weather for the Cards on Friday night as they take on Rutgers team, and then Sunday at noon of Villanova. Obviously, you're looking at getting 2 wins, but as you progress toward the end of the season, are there certain aspects of the game you specifically want to work on with the team?
We need to really work on our defense. We have great athletes back there who have the ability to play almost flawlessly when they do what we ask them to do. I mean, Loyola was an example of how strong our defense can be. Vanderbilt was an example of how strong our defense can be. So that's what we have to get them back into believing coming into this weekend. Rutgers is a very feisty, get down and dirty kind of team. They're not dirty, but they just they'll get into the mess and fight for things. And they have a very deep offense, a lot of people that can score. So we have to be ready and have to be ready to compete. Villanova is young, but they've played some very good teams to some very close games, and we certainly aren't going to look over anybody in the Big East.
Cards have a chance to be 3-2 in conference with a great weekend, and as we talked off camera, I mean, the Big East is in the past maybe had some elite and then kind of the also-rans, and as the conference is growing, there's a little more parity in this league. I mean, it's anybody's opportunity to get one of those coveted 4 spots at this point.
Absolutely, and I think there's a lot of teams vying for that this year. UConn has been in some close games with, some of these Big East teams. And again, we can all play, so you're sort of beating each other up all the time. There's going to be some great matchups this weekend elsewhere in the conference that we'll be curious to see what the results are.
Yeah, time to get a little scoreboard watching in, but we'll take care of business beginning Friday against Rutgers, and we'd love to see you out there at the Lacrosse field and again on Sunday at noon. Good luck to you and the team. Thank you for joining us. Kelly Young, I'm Sean Moth. We'll see you next week right here on Cards TV.